Diagramming adding and deleting nodes from a binary search tree. So adding's really easy. I'll only do it once. You basically go through starting at the root and ask if what you're adding is greater than or less than each node that you encounter. So we're going to add h. Is h greater than or less than m? It's less than. Is h greater than or less than g? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It's greater than. Is h greater than or less than j? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. It is less. So h is placed there. That's the diagram. You just add it in the proper place. Deleting is more involved for a couple of reasons. One is that there are three situations. You could either be removing something that's at the end, in other words, a leaf, removing that or that or that or that or that. You can remove elements or nodes which have one child, like P has one child and J has one child. And also you could be removing an element which has two children, in other words, two subtrees. So you have to, when you're developing the algorithm, take that into consideration. You got to first of all check to see if it has no children, if it has one, or if it has two. But this assessment is not asking for that, and it shouldn't. It's just asking for the diagram. So here are the diagrams for, first of all, removing something with no children. So we're going to remove Q. Where's Q? Okay, that's got no children. Fair enough. So got to find it. Is Q greater than or less than? Greater than. Greater than, less than, less than. Greater than, less than, less than. Greater than or less than, greater than. Greater than, less. Well, you ask, is it greater than, less than, or is it Q? Is it greater than, less than, or is it Q? Greater than, less than, is it Q? Greater than, greater than or less than, or is it Q? It is Q. And as you go through, you're going to keep track of previous, next, previous, next, previous, next, previous, next. When you find it, you don't have to diagram all this, but I'm just explaining. When you find it, you simply break the link. So that right pointer, in this case it's the right one, would become null. And to diagram it, I guess you could, if you wanted to get really fancy about it, is you could, do your traversal through finding greater than, less than, greater than. You could basically draw what I just said, but I don't think you need to do that. That should do it. Now let's remove, and actually let's just clean this up. I'll leave this back to the way that it was with Q still there. So removing a node which has one child. We're using J as the example. Well, we can't just break the link, because if we just break the link, then we lose where H is. H becomes orphaned. But there's only one link that we need to redo. We just need to take previous, next, found what we want to delete. We take the previous, and we link it to the one and only child, thereby breaking the link to the one that we want to delete. And that's it. So the diagram is no more complex than that. You just relink from the previous to the one child. And again, by way of, so that's the diagram for that. By way of keeping this diagram, so I guess I could take some screenshots of it actually in the proper diagrammatic state of doing one of these four. Finally then, let's get to removing a node which has two children. So, T. Well, if we just relink M to R, fair enough, we keep all these, but we have no more access to those because we've broken the link to T. So we can't do that, and we can't just relink to its right child because then we lose all of the left subtree. So there's a trick, and I'll just show you the trick, show you the diagram, and then I will explain it, though I don't think you really are going to need to explain it on a diagram. So all you do is, if there are two children of the thing that you want to delete, is you find the least of the right subtree. So you go to the right subtree, however big it is, you go down, 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 down to the left until you find the least. And that will be going down this way. When you find the least, replace the one that you want to delete with it. So this is the diagram. And there's one other piece. You don't want to have it twice. It won't even work, so or it won't be logically correct. So you break the link. Step 1 then is find the least. Step 2, replace what you're deleting with it. Step 3, break the link to that least the way that it was. And you do that the same way that you do with something that has no children. You just find the previous and set it, whatever it was, left or right to, well, it would be left, to null. So that, is the snapshot of what you would do. Just a quick explanation of why it works. If you think about it, everything on this from this node, everything over here is less than this node. Okay? And everything over here is greater than. Let's start with the u. This u, everything over here is greater than the u. That's greater than the u. That everything over there is greater than. So if we move this up, everything's still greater than. But this was still greater than the old thing that we wanted to delete. So if we move it up here, it's still going to be greater than everything there. U is greater than R and P and Q. And you can listen to that again if you want. If I were to explain it again, I'd just say the same words. So that is the diagram, though, that will give you removing a node which has two children.